See if that works. I'm not too sure. Guessing that's not working, right? All right. All right. Oh, okay. I think I got the mic to work. So, all right. That's cool. That's cool. Oh man. Yeah, it's I think my first time having the mic on. I haven't really turned it on before. I'm just trying to color the outline on this, get it ready to go, and yeah, school com- yeah. Uh, it sounds like there might be a delay on this, but still just testing the waters out with it, you know. Uh, I see. Yeah, school can be challenging. I know I didn't really pay attention a lot in school, and just kind of why I draw a lot. I know. I think when I was in school, I probably drew on everything that I touched. I know at one point it got so bad that I had to have someone write everything for me because I would just draw on everything and not write an answer. You're gonna have to get used to it. I think when I'm done coloring the outline, I'm gonna be done with this piece, and then I move on to another drawing. Probably pick another one from the sketchbook and start to redraw that one next. That's a good plan. You go to theater school, that'd be fun, I would imagine. What kind of small business would you start? clothing and do a clothing brand, that would be fun. They're hard to start, but at least you get into the textiles. That's really fun to have too. Art, yeah. Art commissions is good too. I know a lot of people that do that. They have a day job and then they do the art commissions on the side. I couldn't handle that. That's very I just have a hard time selling my drawings. I don't think I could do commissions like that. Let's see. Have you done commissions before? It's, it's something I never really got into. Or I'm also noticing that there's a delay on when I speak. Only two? That's good though. Let's see. I think my next drawing that I'm gonna do out of this. think I might draw this one next after we're done with this one. But I'm not too sure how this one would look when I redraw this one. I used to do a lot of drips just because I didn't know how to draw the rest of the character, or I didn't know how to do with it. I see. Yeah, there's a lot of little tricks that I hide in my drawings because I don't think I'm technically sound enough to do a lot of elaborate drawings. So, like drips are like one of the things that I do to hide my experience, I guess it is, or my expertise. Another is that another thing is that I purposely just draw 3 fingers on everything. Ah, thank you. I try to develop my own style. These last several years, I try to put together my style. So I thank you for liking it. I appreciate it. I'm just kind of trucking along with this. college, I used to do a lot of graffiti, big bubble letters, and that was like another style I had back then. But when I left college, I stopped doing graffiti. I think that when I started working, I kind of got kind of learned that you can design to fit your strong sets. Like you don't have to, and that's kind of how I approached a lot of my drawings. That I try to approach them in the mindset that I'm strong with one particular thing. Yeah. Graffiti is really good to learn typography too. Get a good understanding with it. Does your friend go out and do graffiti? I don't know if I still have any of my graffiti books from back in the day. A lot of my old sketchbooks and drawings, I tend to give them away. If I find any of my own graffiti stuff, maybe I'll redraw some of that next. No, I understand. That is a thing that you gotta understand, that when you go out and graffiti that you are violating some set of rules. Uh, if you're someone who doesn't like to break the rules, you gotta follow it. It's kind of hard to do graffiti out in the wild, but you could always do it in your books, and you can always do it on plywood. I know people that would buy plywood and mock 'em, yeah, people would buy plywood and actually practice on that in their backyards and whatnot. So when I went to art school, I went to school in the city down there in Philly, and I learned how to make my own paint markers and whatnot. I used to run around with a couple of my friends and hit some of the trains up and some of the stuff down in the city, like mailboxes and sides of the walls and whatnot. But uh, when I started applying for jobs, started to look for an internship, I kind of stopped going out. That's why I don't know if you noticed my tag. It's what I used to. Oh, my signature is technically my tag. But a lot of my stuff is probably all blown off or been covered up by now. I remember we used to go sticker bombing too. Sticker bombing was always fun to go do. We used to get the postal stickers because you know at the post office they give them away for free, and we used to just draw on them and tag on them and slap them everywhere because it was basically a free sticker. I don't know where it went, but I had one of my stickers here on my desk. Yeah. Yeah, if I find my stickers from back in the day, I'll show y'all. But yeah, it's been a good minute since I've been out there doing anything, seeing anything wild like that. But that's kind of why I have like a sticker bomb desk. I really like stickers and like slapping them everywhere. That's pretty cool that your brother would make stickers for you. Your brother like to draw too, or your brother an artist too? That's pretty cool. Sounds like you come from a big family of artists there. And no, don't worry. So, what do you like to create? You're more like an illustrator, or how about your brother? What did he used to like to create? I know when I was growing up, I didn't. They were trying to teach me the alphabet and how to write. Like I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. But I would start to draw before I could actually write my name. I know that I would write with both hands and would I could start to write and draw with both hands, but I know growing up they wanted me to focus on my right or my left hand. My brother would do more realism. Wow, realism is really hard to draw, and it's something I wish I could be more proficient at and be better at. Cartoons and doodles and city doodles is more my style too. So let's see. I think we might be just about done with this. I think to go with all these doodles and these illustrations I've been remaking, I'm gonna make a giant print with all of them smashed together, kind of like a collage. And just why I keep pulling the same colors and using the same background for all of them. I want them to all have like the same look and feel, like a giant like set. Now we look for lines that we might have missed. Doing it's good for them, but my brain. No, I understand. I get you on the whole realism point of view, in the sense that if you can draw something that looks like a photo, why did you not just take a photo? But I do like the principles and tools that is involved with realism, in the sense that if you know how to draw a figure, you can take that knowledge of how to draw a figure and apply it to other elements. Stuff like that I really admire realism for. But you're right, and I agree with you on that. Like if I could draw that and it looks like a photo, why didn't I just take a photo? I remember in school when I was learning how to draw. Yeah, when I was in school learning how to draw, they had us draw figures day in and day out, and any proportions, and a hand is like this, your head is like this, and like when I understood how those work with each other, how it makes sense, I kind of take that knowledge and I was like, I'm gonna break all those rules because I don't want to follow that. In a sense, I don't want to draw like realism, and I don't want to follow the technical rules of art to some extent. Um, and it's kind of why I look at my work as like I'm kind of breaking some rules, like the shortening perspective. Just add a stroke onto this. I see. But I think it's always interesting when you know learning all those techniques and all the ways to draw, and how to use the pencil to measure, measure your distance and whatnot, and then understanding that if you do something and you know it, like you don't follow that rule, you don't do that, people who don't know them would still consider your work as art, or could still consider you as a good person. Oh, they're still having talent in a sense. It's cool. Yeah, I understand that. Like once they give you something that's like your first time doing it, your symmetry. Those are some of my harder projects to think about too. Uh, and once you get the hang of it, like you said, it probably wasn't that hard the second time you had to do it. Um, I, those kind of projects always, I felt like threw a wrench into what I was so used to doing. Did you guys ever have to do like an Escher, an MC Escher um, style of art or like pop art stuff too? I remember learning that for the first time. It kind of threw me through the ringer. That it just comes off a lot nicer. Uh, I understand. I went to art school and towards the end of my schooling, they had given us an ultimatum, which was you either write a paper that talks about your 4 years of experience, or you could draw or make a piece of artwork in a particular art style instead of writing a paper. So I would have to say that my 4 years of college, I never wrote a paper. So the same art projects over and over, that can get really annoying too. You would think that they would want to switch it up every year or so. They ever teach you guys perspective or 1 or 2 points or 2 and 3 point perspective? I remember when I learned that, it felt like it changed my whole way I looked at drawing. That that science course, I probably would have done the same thing. I probably would have drawn something. I don't think I would have been able to write a paper. English and speaking, I guess communication with my words is not my strong suit. If you haven't already noticed. Yeah, I don't think kind of missed school because I probably would have paid attention more if I would have known, you know, what I know now. I never got to take any fun classes except for tech school. Like I said before, they had a person follow me around school and write everything down because I was deemed I don't want to say not able to communicate, but I was kind of banned from writing my own answers on paper for a while. But there's in a group. I wonder, was your cloud drawing in Call of Duty good? Did the teacher say anything to you about having that drawing on the back? Oh, you learned Spanish too, huh? Yeah, Spanish was my first language growing up too, and like so. I'm originally from Texas. I live in Philly or outside Philly, depending on who you're talking to. But in Texas, there was a rule in the 90s. Um, in the 90s, if you didn't know English, they would take you to a year early. So growing up, everyone would learn Spanish, in the family, so that we can get out of the house and 1 year early. And then the public schools would teach me English. She must have gave you a good look, like a look of like, this is a great drawing look, right? Sounds like your teacher doesn't have a sense of humor. Sorry about that. I know that one of the last straws that school had is that I drew a stick figure taking a dump on my paper. And then after that I got a ISS. And then when I came out of ISS, that's when the teacher would start to write everything down for me. Oh man, it's a bad laugh. They sound like a horse. Really? A shoe for a charger? That's outrageous. Yes. Yeah, I went to school, but we didn't have phones like this like you do nowadays. Kind of dated me, but we did have phones. So just we had the fun flip phones. Yeah, lunch detention. And that's the one thing I miss about school is that if you really wanted to, you could get a free lunch. When you leave school, you realize you got to get your own food, and it's not as fun anymore. That's good. You haven't drank Red Bull in 2 weeks. You try that black tea yet? Tea is really good. typically drink a lot of tea in the winter, like some hot tea. I got a little teapot by my desk. Keeps me going during the winter months. That's just about it. Yeah, but falling asleep during class for coming off a Red Bull, that's just a phase. Uh, that's no good that the teacher didn't notice. She ain't paying attention, sounds like. You know what? I just realized I'm streaming on Twitch too. And they probably hear me talking and like, no one. Or like, to myself. It's alright. Thought about playing Pokemon when I drew this, but I wanted to finish this because I'm so close to wrapping it up. And I'm really new to this whole like recording my own videos and like streaming, or I typically just post and ghost, you know. So I just kind of new that I actually interact with people I don't know. The Pokemon game I normally play, I've been playing that for years now. Back when they had the old client. And yeah, that's basically his month, is to watch Tim Burton movies. I like his stop animation. He did the Nightmare Before Christmas, so what it's called. But Tim Burton's a really good Halloween movies to watch. I don't know, but during the pandemic, when 2020 and 2021, I would randomly pick movies on Netflix or Hulu. And it was like movie roulette. I wouldn't read anything about it, just pick it by the cover art and just see if it was good or bad. It was 50-50 on whether or not it was good. I got to watch a lot of bad movies that way though. I also like jumped headfirst into the whole Alien vs Predator. I don't know if you ever seen them movies before, but it's another like really good movie series. Even when it gets up to the Prometheus and whatnot, and the audiobooks are really good too. I heard that a lot of people didn't learn anything during the with online schooling. That's rough. I feel bad for a lot of y'all. I know that I know that I was working around the clock with freelance work and my day job. Oh wow. Did they give you guys like free laptops or anything to take home? I know some schools were doing that. Um, and it's weird because uh, 2020 actually in 2019 I was giving lectures at the college, and in 2020 I was supposed to go do that again, but I didn't. That didn't happen. I just did online lectures. Oh no, paper shape. You take paper mache? You mean by paper shapes? Is that what you mean by that? Oh, that's a bummer. You had to return them. I remember when we first got computers in our schools, and they were actually the old Macs back in the day, and we all had to learn how to use Macs. And then somewhere in my schooling, Macs lost the contract for schools, and it became PC dominant industry, and it has been for the longest. Unless you're in the creative field, people think that designers, videographers, and well, videographers probably do it, but they think that designers need a Macs. But you don't really need a Mac to be a good designer. You just need to know how to design, you know. And I bet you guys were like zombies listening to that one person talk for 6 hours. and try to retain some kind of information. And it's probably hard to learn through a computer screen when not in person, asking them questions and getting hands on. It'd have been rough. Sorry for y'all. There's no way to learn. There's a lot of writing to do though. If you had to write a paragraph for homework every day, it makes you think if they actually had enough time in the day to read all those papers. Like if I'm a teacher, I probably have like 20 kids. That means I'm reading about 20 different paragraphs or papers a day about the same subject, and I have to gauge that you guys got that information right. Like, I don't know if that's even possible on a teacher's end, if they could go through all that. It's wild. I don't know much about teaching, but that's just me trying to put logic to it in the back of my head. The art school I used to go give lectures at, and speeches, they went out of business last year, and I think the main reason they went out of business was because they were ran by academic people and not artists. So they didn't know how to market to artists. They didn't know how to market it to people. And all of a sudden, they sold the business because it wasn't profitable. Yeah, that was a pretty cool time in school when you did the caterpillar, calip, caterpillar to butterfly transformation. That was pretty neat. I remember seeing that in school too. Don't worry. It took me a good 3 minutes to read caterpillar, bug, the worm that changes. I'm just gonna call it that, the worm that changes. all that Red Bull you've been drinking make you dumb, you know? No, I'm just kidding. But nah, I'm sure you're not as dumb. I'm sure you're smarter this year than you were last year. The banana always used to trip me up too. Banana. Banana. I remember there was a song that they taught us to remember how to say it, how to spell it, but I always don't judge the spelling when I read misspelled words or try to spell a word. I think the point of it is to get the message across. So I get it. No, it's tough to spell. Or even the words, the language doesn't make sense, to be honest. Language is like A before I, but sometimes before E, but never after I. Yeah, I don't remember that. I don't remember that song, but I remember there was a song that I had to learn. I'm just adding just some small details. 'Cause I wanted to make sure that there's an angle on this. Because before it was kind of flat. If you look at it, try to show that it's a square. I like doing these square arms with these square fingers. Um, I try to make it seem like it's a like a square person, you know. No, I get you. I get you. Spelling is not. I can't spell either. But let's see. that whole speaking part of it. Look, you'll get the hang of it eventually. It comes with speaking with more people. You figure out how to speak to people. Never, just never be shy to talk to people. You know. You can't get better at talking with people if you don't talk to people. You know. Sometimes it's difficult to explain to other people what we're thinking or what we want to say. But if you go into a conversation with someone you're not sure of, I guess it's best to think that they know nothing, so you can't be upset with them if they know nothing, you know. Uh, I understand. I see. Say something about like just couldn't. Hard to form the thoughts. Like hard to explain it. I would imagine. It's alright. It's alright. Don't stress it. It's not a big deal, you know. Come back to you later on, and you'd be like, I can explain it like this. Yeah, I think that looks a little better now. It has a little bit more depth. Would you? Yes. I've actually had made merch before with my stuff. It's on my website. Um, I would love to get my own printing press and print my own t-shirts, but I am not there yet. I think we are done with this, to be honest. Yeah, like, um, so I'm gonna show you the latest thing that I got cooking right now. I'm about to get my samples for it next. Give me a minute. So this right here is hoodie design that I worked on, and I really want to get these made next. It's just a one color print, but I'll probably have it done for a direct to garment. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. Thank you. This was from that live stream a couple nights ago where it kept on crashing on me. So I took that drawing and I made this neat design. And then on the left chest, I'm going to have this little, for the left chest. Ah, thank you. Let's see. And then this is a skateboard design I made. And then this was another skateboard design. This was a print. I took the print down though. I had this as a print for a little bit. This was some stuff that I made in for Rust, but I actually don't know if I have them on Rust anymore, but I was making skins for guns and stuff like that for Rust. I actually can't believe I stayed. I appreciate you staying for the whole stream. Thank you. I'm about to wrap it up in a minute since I wrapped up this one. I think the next stream that I do, I'm probably going to draw this guy next for that large print. I understand, but thank you again, though. I really do appreciate you hanging out for the stream. But I'm probably going to post this on Instagram tomorrow and then add it to the print. So alright, well, everyone have a good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow, maybe, if I can stream again. If not, maybe Saturday or Friday. I'm not too sure. I gotta get a better schedule on this whole streaming and when I can stream. But I hope you all have a good night. I'll see y'all.